I had a weird night. I think that triggered by a couple reasons. One is that I went to this hunting eel and stuff, and after that I was get tired. And then I had a phone call from my ex-wife about my happy birthday. I didn't expect that to happen, but we had the update of lives, and she mentioned about my son's situation, including that's just another story that he was in Nosara, I think, in Costa Rica. I was with him surfing. How many years ago? 10, 15 years ago. Anyway, I think he met this Brazilian woman and then developed some relationship. He was in Paris attending a conference or something, and he had some time, so he called her to Brazil or something. She flew up to Paris, and later she came down to California and now married. A little crazy story. He's an entrepreneur, and she is too. And that kind of setting some image, I guess, that popped up in the middle of the night. I usually sleep well, but in the last few days I had some dreams, which is kind of interesting. I don't usually write down the nature of the dream, but last night I was up like at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and I couldn't go back. I couldn't go back to sleep. One experience after the other experience, I had lots of events that popped up. Meeting this person, that person, went to Detroit, meeting this guy. He had an airplane, he took me around his private plane, work, and other places I explored in Europe, some business related meetings here and there, opportunity that didn't get materialized. I could have done all that kind of a unnecessary thought that popped up. Why? I think I was going through my life's experience. Maybe a sign of getting old and preparing to die. Therefore, I have to sum up all what happened. What's the point of it? Because it's not necessary. But the brain does funny thing on its own. So what happened is that I couldn't get back to sleep. And this is the kind of a thing that if you are up for a long time and thinking so many things, this happened, that happens, this opportunity, that opportunity. I didn't do bad, but still thinking of maybe related to my son's situation of, doing some work, startup situation and going crazy. And I don't think I was crazy, but I had so many interesting and lost opportunities, but it was okay. I never thought that was bad because I was on top of it. I felt at least, but maybe one of those moments for the old man to reflect on life and would have kind of a thing. But instead of laughing at it, but I was into it. So one memory after the other could have been and should have been, or any of that. Nothing bad overall, but I was caught up in it. So I thought, since I don't go through such experience, I know people, and I may have had those moments of reflection and catching me, and I have to, want to go to sleep but couldn't. So I tried to go to sleep, And when you try, it doesn't work. So I tried this position, that position, fetal position, and quiet position straight, and then feeling, feeling my fingers. Usually I can go back to sleep in a few minutes, but this time I couldn't. So I put my hand on my heart and I said Namu Amida Butsu, and it didn't work. Usually when I put my hand on my heart and feel the sensation, just put me into a very calm state, and it didn't happen. And so you try more, it doesn't happen because you're trying. The ego is involved. But eventually, I start to notice the difference. And I felt I'm okay. So this is such a weird experience for me because after that, I went to sleep without any problem. I slept well. Maybe because my life is so quiet and I want it to be that like that. Yet I can, and I want to relate to the world, so I have stimulation enough. But the phone calls from my wife and maybe my tiredness, I felt like a brain fog kind of thing. I mentioned to her that I may not, you know, I'm getting old. And she mentioned about the house situation in Palisades, the fire and all the difficulties too. So, and my son's work is more related to technology and the future thing and need to do this, need to do that. I don't like that society moving in such a dimension that in the mind and the digital and the logic and caught up and do this and business is changing and you have to catch up and all that. Maybe that's also a fundamental concern that I have about the society, including the Trump and the tariff and the world going into recession. I sold stocks, but not sold everything. I thought maybe I should have, but it's okay. That's not the measure. Oh, that's right. I was doing this life profile yesterday, but I did it like a month ago. So I reviewed that. And in just 1 month, from March to April, now it's April 9th or 8th, 9th, yeah. So situation is so different, but I didn't feel like writing another one just 1 month after the previous one. But I think there are lots of changes going on. Ah, that's right. That's also the issue about this me upset without me recognizing, but my brain may be just sorting things out to figure out what's the best way, how to have the grounded level. And instead of finding it easily, it took my maybe even 1 hour or so. I was up. I feel that something like this can be happening in many people's life, which I'm kind of off from the general society's direction because of my setting here. It's supposed to be peaceful. But because of the concern of the society, I want to be connected. And this phone call and the reality and the image of what is, of what it could be, influenced me. What's the bottom line of it? These things happen. And we need to be grounded. more shaky we are, we don't see the picture clearly. And when you are living in such a situation because of the changes and the needs and the opportunities, and just keep track and keep on finding the path based on the ground that, connecting to the heart will be difficult. The whole world is shaking. I had the sense it's nature's way that we go through this kind of a turmoil. I used to say just turbulence, but now it's getting worse and people feel it. Not so much in my neighborhood, my friend here. I didn't see anything big impacting to them in this specific location, but I'm sure this is more of an exception than the norm. When the world is turbulence or in turmoil, I heard my wife's friend house got burned, and they are like early 70s. And I heard a story that for the next 5 years they are gone somewhere, kind of like a writing off and living close to their kids' situation or something like that. So that's just another example I heard from my ex-wife. And she herself is going through some difficulties. Her house, our house used to be, her house is fine, unbelievable in Palisades. But she had some issues that she kind of complained. But overall, everything seemed to be okay, except her life will have such a big impact. Maybe that's the reason why she called me, just updating. So, it's not easy when the ground is shaking and the world is changing and in turmoil. Stock market, people losing job, unknown future, and may lose sleep. In my case, it's just I'm in the periphery of the world, but wanting to be connected and contributing something. But all I can do is just keep doing what I have been, including this YouTube work and working with AI and hoping to contribute something. That's all I can do. But I guess if there's any resolution out of this experience, I don't know, tomorrow night, tonight, and or how things would change in my life, but still maintain the path that I know or I feel I should, which is connecting to a heart, not lose the ground, check what's going on, finding the path, helping people, helping myself, and may all beings be happy. With samadhi, no mind, no self, connecting to a heart. Tree is quietly standing and the sun is popping up. It is as it is. Tree don't complain. Sun doesn't complain. People complain. But still, we are the miracle of the universe to be able to be alive and find the path, meaningful path to live the best. Why not? Be careful not to be pulled into the society's craziness, even it may be so difficult to do because this movement will also change. It's like a pendulum. It's like a failure and come back and adjust and then another failure and come back. That's the passage of the humans, in my view, with the brain to be connected to the heart. And whether we can do it as humanity is unknown because of all the speed and technology and information and greed, all of that. But that's what it is. Accepting is accepting and knowing what is going on. That's a check-in and CAPD. Check, act, plan, do, and continue. Continue, continue, continue. Each individual as human society, as human as a whole, and Shila Samadhi Panya, always rooted. That's the real foundation. We humans need to realize its importance of its connection. And I'll like to keep working on it, living with that. May all beings be happy. You see these flowers up there? Silently sharing the beauty. And I can hear the cricket. You have a good day. Thank you.